my name is Matilius258, and welcome to EVE Online. My in-game character is named Saris Van Dalen. For all of whoever wants to know. And I'm just here to announce that I'm going to be doing some basic tutorial, how to actually play EVE and what is EVE kind of videos. Going about what careers you can do, what you can do in the game, basic skills, how to manage those, some basic ship fitting things, the lore, and I guess eventually just me doing stupid stuff. So yeah. So it's just what this video is going to be. So it's going to be kind of boring. I'm just going to be going about the history of EVE, what is it, and showing you something that best describes what EVE is. And I will leave a link to it in the description because it is very important that you read that. It's probably the best and most accurate description of what EVE is like to the normal player. And at the moment, I'm just here in a mining vessel doing jet can mining, which I'll explain what that is in a later video. The history of EVE is humans advanced to a point where we invented space travel, and we eventually went out into our galaxy and colonized and explored everything, to the point where we were just overpopulated in our own galaxy. So all of a sudden, a wormhole appears called, I actually don't remember what it was called, but just a big wormhole. And they went through the wormhole and they were brought here to this New Eden, as it is. And they, of course, started exploring and started colonizing this too. And everything was going good. We started colonizing. But all of a sudden, without warning, without cause, without anything whatsoever, the wormhole collapsed in on itself, cutting off any supply that the old galaxy, our good old Milky Way, could provide to New Eden. So a lot of the colonies just died straight out. They weren't developed enough, they couldn't support themselves, so they just died. And eventually, one of the empires, the Amar Empire, they eventually rediscovered space travel and Stargate technology, allowing people to, again, colonize the stars and travel between the star systems. And, of course, they use that to conquer and colonize and enslave any other peoples they found. So eventually other empires started forming, the Galente, which is a democratic, free-spirited, party-goer kind of empire. Then the Caldari state, which is a capitalist, corporate, company-owned empire. And the Minmatar, which are I would like to say the rebellious, because they were once a people completely enslaved by the Amar, and they rebelled and got their own empire. And then the Amar, which are the slave-liking, theological, religious, hierarchical society, also the biggest empire in New Eden. Of course, they're all equal in strength. So, that's about that. They have wars with each other. They don't like each other. Sometimes they like each other, but not always. That's about it. So, that's the story of EVE. So, I guess what playing EVE, what it's like is, it's a sandbox game, so it's not linear. You can do whatever you want. There's thousands of options. But there are, of course, basic things that apply to everything. And I don't mean like rules, like you cannot have a certain amount of ships in this hangar. Nope. You can have as many ships you want in the hangar. More like kinda transcendental, unspoken laws, if you will. I'm going to bring up a page. It's an old forum post. They're called the Golden Rules of Eve. I'm just gonna, and there's quite a few of them. There's actually a lot. But I'm gonna name probably the most important ones and the ones that best describe what the game is like. I'm gonna start here. You are not safe in 1.0 security space. Concord is there to punish, not to protect. Get used to the idea. And what this means is every star system has a security status. And depending on the status, you can get to do certain things. In 0.5 and up, all the way to 1, the max security, Concord, the police, if you will attack anybody who attacks you afterwards. But, of course, in the time it takes them to get there, they're a reactive force. By the time it takes them to get there, you might be dead or... So yeah, they do not protect, they punish. Just kind of like the real police in the world. People offering free stuff? Probably traps. Be cautious. That is very true. Scamming is everywhere. Good deals are everywhere. Anything... use real life experience in this game. If something seems perfect, there's usually a catch or there's something you're doing completely wrong. Let's see. Probably the most accurate. Scamming and unethical behavior some would consider griefing is not only allowed, it is encouraged and rewarded by the game mechanics. That is the most self-explanatory sentence in the entire list of rules that best describe this game. You can be an ass, and you get paid for it. Let's see. Oh, very important. It's kind of what I'm doing now. Just having ISK is the in-game currency, by the way, doesn't matter all that much. It's making ISK that's important. If you bought your ISK, either legally from some site or a valid GTC trade, expect to soon be parted with all of them. Let's see, what else is there? Just because you can fly something doesn't mean you should. This is kind of accurate, in a way. What it means is you have a vast array of ships, and they all have a certain purpose. And if you're using just a very expensive, very pretty ship, maybe, that's big and would never die at all, and you're going through the lowest sec possible, -1 sec, just enough people and one person with a warp scrambler, they'll eventually kill you. So what it also means is if your ship isn't made for what you want it to do, like if you get a mining vessel and you put guns on it, you're gonna have a bad time. You're gonna get killed, and that ship is gonna get destroyed, and you're gonna be down quite a bit of money. And probably the most accurate. You're in this game for the long haul. Don't expect to do something meaningful in the grand scheme of things in the first day of your first trial account ever. And this is the most accurate thing in the entire game. This is a long game. It takes forever to do anything in this game. Okay, maybe not forever. It just takes a really, really long time. It's doing one thing can sometimes take longer the entire time it took you to complete one map on Civilization 5. That is how long such things can take. People play Civ 5 while they wait for something to happen in this game. I have heard stories of people in gate camps while PvPing, reading, waiting for somebody to pop up. When I'm mining, that is what I do. I read. And you are in this for the long haul. I'm going to give you one very good example. The Titans, the giant space penises, as the CCP developers of the game put it. The Galente Federations, the Erebus Titan. Actually, no, I'm going to go for Iconics. The Avatar of the Amar. Requirements. Total training time, 164 days, 4 hours, 40 minutes, and 2 seconds. That is how long it would take me if I were to just train, just for this ship. And yes, it's a pretty ship. I would be able to fly it. That'd be about it. I wouldn't be actually able to shoot anything off of it because I wouldn't have any of the skills necessary to fire the guns on the thing, or even to mount the guns on the thing. Here's just basic skills. I'm still new at this game, and I'm training mining drone operations, so I can start using Tech 2 drones to use the guns on the Avatar. Let's see, where is it? Gunnery. You would have to train, well, all the necessary skills to make sure you actually hit the target and do damage. Then you actually have to train just for using the turrets. You have to go through the small hybrid turrets. You have to go, sorry, this is the Mars. You have to go through small laser turrets. You have to go through medium laser turrets. Then you have to go through large, and then you have to go through capital. And then you want to get those trained up to higher levels so you can actually do more damage, as it says right there, 5% bonus. So you're in this game for a long time to do anything. So, yeah, this is Eve. Long, slow, the world's record for biggest grind fest in the entire known universe, both in the Milky Way and New Eden. This is the end of the first video. Next, I'm going to go on about I'm going to go a little more in depth to the empires, or the factions, if that's easier for you. Races, maybe. I'm just going to go on about what ships do, what kind of empire you want to go for, if you want to do a certain thing, and basically explain based on, like, the base of what they do, show you some very good ships. And it's going to be an interesting video because there's a lot of pirate factions and specialized factions as well as the main four. There's a lot of ships. So yeah, that will be my next video. Just explaining ships, explaining empires, and explain what they're good for. So, bye.